Now, things changed in 1908. When the Young Turk Revolution occurred, the Armenians gave up their revolutionary efforts. They disbanded their underground groups. They closed their Armenian newspaper, Pro-Armenie, in France. And they decided, we are going to work loyally within the empire for a constitutional regime. The leading Armenian party, the Dashnag Sutyun, actually allied with the Young Turks, with the Ittihad Teraki. And they ran candidates together in elections in 1908 and 1912, 13, and so forth, on the same lists. So they were working together, but they were increasingly disappointed over time that reforms didn't occur. In 1909, April, there were massacres in Adana, largely because the local Muslims were fearful of the Armenians, who were now acting more open, who actually were organizing themselves, having demonstrations, some of them even arming themselves. So this was all legal, but was seen as a threat. And in April 1909, there were massacres, which the local officials, not Istanbul, the local officials allowed to occur. And 20,000 Armenians were killed in Cilicia, in Adana, Sis, and other towns. So Armenians became more disillusioned, but still the church, the revolutionary parties, they all cooperated with the Ottoman authorities. Now, through that period, the Ottoman leaders themselves, particularly people like Talat Pasha, Enver Pasha, some of the nationalists like Ziya Gökalp and others, Dr. Shakir, Dr. Nazim, and others, became more and more suspicious of Armenians. They thought of the Armenians as disloyal, as allied to Russia. And of course, the Armenians were saying all the time, no, we want to live in the Ottoman Empire, we don't prefer the Russians, but we want reforms. We want some guarantees so we can live normal, prosperous lives and have a degree of justice. And the two things never came together. So in 1914, Armenians, along with the British and the Russians, pushed the Sultan, pushed the Young Turk government to allow new reforms and bring European inspectors to go out to Van and Erzurum and to look at reforms and make reforms happen. But that was right on the eve of the war. And at that point, the Young Turks decided to ally with the Germans and ended the reforms and then went to war with Russia.